Nice charge from Rose Zhang to get to -6. Entered the week 103rd in CME group points. We know that there's just a solid finish in her future. It could come this week as that one just holds the first cut down the right-hand side.
Feels like a major venue, and the way the players are treated feels very big and special. And then also, I mean, like you said, the purse, 4.1 million for a non-major. It's amazing.
Feels like a major move right now for Rose Zhang.
Rose has 173 to this whole location. In that first cut, sitting down just a little bit.
Just deflected from that ridge, but not a bad spot for a little bit of a pull. The biggest question, Rose Zhang for birdie at 9, trying to get within 4 of the lead. And that neck injury that really took her out of form for much of this 2025 season, coupled with the demands of her schedule, this would be a really good weekend for her to have her best. She's eyeing this one up, but just to her right, it appears Rose Zhang is further out.
Yeah, they're just a yard apart. Rose has 152 to the whole location. Needs to carry this about 135 online. Whole location's going to tuck back in the middle part of the green.
Korda is one of just 2 players on the golf course in the top 10. That late early wave that are already done with 36 holes, a true advantage. Rose Zhang, after, well, that was in the air. Beautiful speed there for what will be a kick-in par to stay at -6.
Well, what Angela was saying is such a great point with her needing to finish, or she wants to finish her time at Stanford, graduate the spring of 2026. So she's having a full...
The CME Group Tour Championship coming up later this fall. Rose Zhang is hoping that she has a tee time there. Has to get inside the top 60 and has a long way to go to get there. She's on the tee now here at 11.
This is a 6-iron for Rose.
If there's one thing to build on this season, her ironly perfect, but how much of a disadvantage as you're watching Rose Zhang putt for birdie? This is a chance to get to -7 after that great tee shot. It's not going to cut back. How much of a disadvantage is it for these players who are going to get, you know, a quick breakfast, brunch, maybe after this round? So she's going to roll that one in for the par. And meanwhile, back at the fairway, Rose Zhang not in danger of reaching this green in 2, just trying to put herself in good position.
Yeah, she has all of 278 to the whole location. Just looking to find the right number for her with this layout.
Could be a trickier little angle there. Still looking for our first hole-in-one at this FM Championship. None last year, none so far this year. Maybe Rose Zhang can give us one on the back 9. This is her 3rd shot at the par 5. Uh-oh.
That looked a little heavy. Oh, but...
Good miss.
Good miss. She didn't seem to like it that much. It took a huge divot with a little bit softer fairways.
She does have a little Hideki Matsuyama.
Oh, 100%. I'd say out of every...
At 10, she joins the party at -2. And now Rose Zhang to get to 7 under.
Thank y'all for bringing up the fact that she has some Hideki to her. A number of times I'm watching Rose and I'm like, what? Why doesn't she look happy about that?
Well, she's hit a couple iron shots that, I'm not joking, have almost gone in, that she has one-handed finished. And you think it's in the bunker and it's almost in the hole.
In for birdie, into the top 10. Looking for her best finish of the season. Get from start to finish this year. Head to LPGA.com and find all the various ways you can learn about the LPGA's past and where it is headed. That ball is headed right for Rose Zhang. And like we saw Nelly Korda and Minjee Lee, it's going to be difficult to get it close from the right-hand rough.
Yeah, just visually, this.
I want to get it in trouble comparing a Stanford education to a Florida State education. Rose now.
Rose actually had a really good lie in the rough. That was 159.
Kind of what she had to do there.
Yeah, and Chip being from the Boston area.
Back at 13, this was happening while we were watching those highlights. Rose Zhang for birdie. Go. It's interesting, Brooke talked about that win last week and said she got a lot of breaks, like a bounce off of a tree into a good lie or a little.
His birdie percentage, she leads the tour in birdie percentage. It's those bogeys that why we're not seeing her have a win so far this season. There's kind of a mishit shot here and there, or not being able to get up and down.
Team that had a Minjee Lee, Nelly Korda pairing. I don't care what the format is.
That wouldn't be fair.
I'm sure if Captain Stanford could find a way to get Minjee Lee American citizenship before Stanford, you're trying to judge players and you look at numbers and at metrics as we watch Rose Zhang sort of walking. I'm curious how you view winning versus just overall skill, ability, and performance.
Well, I think the numbers matter. You know, I want a player that hits a lot of greens. I want a player that hits a lot of fairways. I think if those numbers are always consistently high, that's going to lead to wins. The one thing I learned is you cannot force a win. Those things, you have to be in the perfect position, you know, give yourself.
Talked about, you know, would Brooke Henderson even play this week after the joy of last week as Rose Zhang pays off her great approach shot with a birdie. It's like, oh, you win, you have all of this energy that you spent to be okay. You would understand if you had a little bit of a letdown. Well, the player that was right alongside that had a putt to tie and force a playoff was Minjee Lee last week, too. She exhausted a similar amount of. Best second rounds. We had several 66s yesterday. Madeline Sagstrom, Selena Borga ran up the leaderboard, as did Yan Liu, Mio Yamashita, all shot 66. That's the best round of the second round from those players that played yesterday. The 6 under par round, that's exactly what Rose Zhang is on right now. 6 under in this second round for 8 under for the week.
Well, she is in a deep divot. Like, this is one of the worst I've seen because it's kind of right in the middle. It's almost like a U shape, and nothing has really been filled in. They're actually looking for something to practice in because it's literally right in the middle in the low part of the divot. Maybe it's probably like even with the equator of the ball, so only really half the ball is above this green, you know, the grass surface. So she has 152 in, 125 to the front. I mean, really, this ball could almost go anywhere just because it's hard to know how the ground is going to affect the club head and where the club enters the divot.
That was just so unlucky from such a beautiful tee shot.
Yeah, I think if she gets this within 3 feet, that'll be good. It's up, a little left to right, and then down, wanting to work back to the left. Speed's really key as it gets halfway.
A little extra time to reset before the second round with all the on and off delays yesterday, and she's come out and put together one of the more consistent ball striking rounds of her season.
Well, she's been very focused, that's for sure. Just doesn't get out of her little world and just continues to hit solid shots. Now Rose, about 3 feet. Clean up.
Yeah, I just have to walk away with a par and know that got a bad break, but no harm, no foul.
Also in where you can really put cups, it's been difficult for players to try and find a good landing spot. Rose Zhang now.
Also, a 9-iron.
Oh, almost flew it right in the cup. It's the first time she's had a clean lie to hit an iron. Seeing a lot of shots over the course of the week as Rose Zhang now for birdie at 16. This would get her to within 5.
And she also had the benefit of being able to get a little bit of a read from Lynn Grant. Not actually breaking as much as I think it kind of looked. And look at that scorecard. Very different story than yesterday. We saw some visible frustration. It looked like she might not make the cut 2 tournaments in a row, and her ability to really turn it around and stay positive. She's still been aggressive, but hasn't pushed too hard. Can take a lot of learning from this week as well.
Okay, we hear that term a lot. Learning experience. I'm going to use this as a learning experience. It's almost to the point where it's cliche, right? Like one shot at a time,
yes,
or anything that we hear. What is that lesson? If she were to write length that makes that tee shot a little bit less strategic, some shorter players with the tee box back have to make a decision one side or the other, as we are back here at the 17th. Our leader, Se-Young Kim, 7 under today. Nasa Hataoka is 7 under on the golf course and just fired a 65. And Rose Zhang, 7 under with 2 to go, looking for maybe the round of the week if she could birdie in.
She got 134 to the front, 146 to the hole location. This is an 8-iron.
Beauty right there.
Eagles chip in from Grace Kim. That was a very good chip from Lynn Grant. She had to be so delicate with that.
Now live for Rose to get to 10 deep.
Been a tricky putt for players to read, both speed-wise and with the break.
close at Evian that's interesting is there really isn't a good spot to lay up on that hole. On Thursday, she was 6 under par making the turn. That'll be to be 6 under par heading to the third round as Rose Zhang tee-ball away here at this par 5. Trying to cover those bunkers, does, and that's a good shot with a little bit of roll, and Rose should be able to reach now in 2. But how about that for a potential pair within a threesome to try and run down the leaders? Rose Zhang now.
228 for Rose.
There's that one-handed finish we were talking about, and just overcooked it.
Caught it a little thin, and that stays on a downslope back there with not a lot of green to work with. That is going to be a tricky up and down for Rose to try and make birdie. And again, she makes birdie here. It's going to be her, Se Young Kim, and Moran. This is no fun for Rose either over the back of the green. What was I talking about? How good has this last 10 minutes been? That was so sporty. If she knows it. And that would polish off the round of the week if that goes in for a 64.
That was impressive.
And to throw it into the hill, get it to stop.
That had check on it. She hit it so hard to drive.
Yeah, that was about a foot from a red line over there, Amanda.
Birdie confirmed for Rose. 64, 8 under par. She makes the move on moving day, even though we weren't in the moving day round yet. Bookending 32s, and Rose Zhang